Join me, Kevin Donaldson, as I go into the dark underworld of gallows humor and challenge myself to find the funniest jokes that will make you laugh despite the darkness. Stay tuned. Gallows humor, also known as black comedy, is a type of humor that involves making light of serious or taboo subjects, often in the face of tragedy or adversity. It's a complex and controversial topic that has been debated for centuries, with some argue it's a necessary form of catharsis, while others see it as a disrespectful and offensive point of view. When it comes to gallows humor, there's often a strong stigma attached to it. Some people view it as inappropriate or insensitive and believe it's not something that should be joked about in any fashion. In many cultures, it's seen as a taboo subject, and those who engage in it are often viewed as morbid or just plain twisted. This stigma can be especially strong when it comes to tragedy or loss, where people may feel that the jokes and humor trivialize the suffering of others. But despite the stigma, gallows humor remains a ubiquitous part of our culture. From dark comedy TV shows to morbid memes on social media, it's clear that people are drawn to this type of humor, even if they don't always admit it. So why do people find gallows humor offensive, and what drives this moral outrage? One reason may be that it challenges our deeply held belief that what's acceptable to joke about and forces us to confront the darker aspects of life. In many cases, people's discomfort with gallows humor stems from a fear that it's somehow disrespectful to those who have suffered. They may worry that by making light of tragedy, we're minimizing its impact and somehow diminishing the pain of those affected. But is this fear justified, or is it simply a reflection of our own unease with the subject matter? Our brains are wired to respond to humor, even in the face of tragedy. When we laugh, our bodies release endorphins, which helps to reduce stress and anxiety. This is especially important in situations where we're faced with overwhelming or traumatic events. By using humor as a coping mechanism, we can momentarily distract ourselves from the pain and chaos and find a way to process our emotions. Gallows humor can serve as a defense mechanism, allowing us to momentarily escape the gravity of a situation. This is especially true in high-stress environments like hospitals, where medical professionals often use dark humor to cope with trauma they witness on a daily basis. By making light of the situation, they can momentarily forget the tragedy surrounding them and focus on the task at hand. In fact, gallows humor can even be used as a therapeutic tool, helping people to process and confront their fears. By confronting the darker aspects of life through humor, we can begin to demystify them and rob them of their power. This is especially true in the context of mental health, where humor can be a powerful tool for coping with anxiety, depression, and trauma. One of the most powerful examples of gallows humor in action is the story of the top 10 most likely ways to die at Burning Man, which emerged in the wake of a devastating accident at the festival in 2017. Rather than succumbing to the grief and despair, the Burning Man community came together to create a list of darkly comedic death scenarios, which quickly went viral on social media. This might seem morbid or insensitive to some, but for those involved, it was a way to cope with that awful tragedy and find a way to laugh in the face of adversity. I'd like to share another example from my own life where gallows humor provided a much-needed release of tension. When my grandmother passed away, my family and I were devastated. But during the funeral, my cousin made a joke about my grandmother's famous cooking, which was notorious for being so bad that it could kill you. It was a lighthearted moment that broke the tension and allowed us to momentarily forget our grief. In conclusion, gallows humor is a complex and multifaceted topic that challenges our beliefs about what's acceptable to joke about. While it may be offensive to some, it can also serve as a powerful tool for coping with adversity and finding humor in the darkest of times, but also recognize its potential benefits in helping us process and confront our fears. So what's your take on gallows humor? Have you ever used it to cope with a difficult situation, or do you find it offensive and inappropriate? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out another video on the Suffering Podcast channel. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, please take care of yourself, take care of others, and God bless.